How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 352. The film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is The Last Exorcism. The Last Exorcism is directed by Daniel Stan and it stars Patrick Fabian and Ashley Bell and a bunch of other unknown actors in this film. The Last Exorcism is a kind of a horror mockumentary about this pastor who has kind of lost his faith in religion. He kind of realizes that he went into this business at a very young age. I believe he says he was 10 when he gave his first sermon, and he's starting to realize that maybe I don't necessarily believe in all of this stuff. Maybe it's just that I'm good at it. And he voices his opinion about exorcisms and how he doesn't believe in demons, and how he believes that this is all just psychological and something that the victims are thinking up in their head, that if they just have the mental picture that the demon is gone, then they will be vanquished of their evils. So what he does is he gets a documentary crew to set out and film the last exorcism that he will ever perform. He picks out a letter at random that he's been sent, and he goes to visit this home. And the people that are in this home is a very strange son, a father who is a very big religious nut, and a daughter who doesn't know whether or not she's being tormented at night. And what ensues is kind of a very psychological, spiritual journey of a horror film that I think is a little subtle and a little creepy. The Last Exorcism, I think, is incredibly effective at what it's trying to do. I think as far as the horror mockumentary style of filmmaking, I think there's a lot of things that become the documentary style of filmmaking nowadays that don't necessarily need it, or it doesn't make sense, or you're always saying, hey, put down the camera, like, why are you still filming this? But this one makes sense, because I think that this could potentially actually be a documentary about a pastor who's lost his faith. The film is incredibly smart at showing you very little and getting you very terrified of what's going on. It's very reminiscent of The Exorcist in the sense that during this film, they turn off the cameras at night. When they turn them on, whenever they hear something, they run up the stairs. And every single time they go up the stairs, you in the audience are cringing in your seat at what you're going to see. I mean, there are moments where they hear a baby crying through the door, and there's nobody there. It's just the girl. And you as an audience member don't know if what you're seeing is actually a demon at work, or if it's this girl just messing with the audience, or if she's actually crazy, or things like that. And I think that's where the real strength of The Last Exorcism lies. It is very creepy at times, and it is very terrifying. There's one shot in particular that I recall literally getting chills, where you realize that the camera is in the girl's hands instead of the people's hands, and the way that they let this scene unfold is incredibly terrifying. I also want to say that it is probably the most graphic PG-13 movie I have ever seen. I have no idea how MPAA did not give this an R, because it is not meant for kids. I do have one major complaint, though, about this film, and that is the last 2 minutes of the film. And I know I talk a lot about wishing that movies would end 2 or 3 minutes before they did, and this is not the case in this film. I think that the movie forgets what it is by the end, and what the movie has going for it up until this point is this story about this guy who has lost his faith, and you're not sure whether or not the girl is possessed or if she's just pretending to be. And by the end of the film, instead of having some kind of awesome revelation that it could have and really something profound to say, it just kind of 86s everything and decides to show a violent, crazy, kind of incoherent, muddled 2-minute sequence that I don't think works at all. And I think anybody that says that it totally makes sense, it doesn't totally make sense logically. I understand what they're trying to do with the ending, but it doesn't work at all for me. I don't think that that's enough, though, to dismiss everything that happens before that moment, because before that moment, the film is practically perfect to me. I think the performances across the board are fantastic. It's incredibly scary and creepy, and that last 2 minutes, though, it should be a totally different ending. I was incredibly underwhelmed and disappointed by this ending, by the standard route that it took. But all in all, I'm going to give The Last Exorcism a 3.5 out of 5. I still think that it's pretty creepy and scary. I just don't think the ending works. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of The Last Exorcism below, and tell me what you would have changed with the ending to this film. Make sure to write spoiler, though, above it so people don't read it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.